Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So I did have a video before this. I filmed the whole slush thing, and for whatever reason my computer decided to wig out and we lost the video, so that's why there hasn't been a video in the last week. But we are here. I'm working on our good friend Sebastian's 240 back there. DJ's getting ready to head out of town, so he's taking some motorcycles with him, and I gotta show you guys. We had a little bit too much fun at Easter. Not my fault. I'm 0-3 for leaving Easter with a clean car, but it could be worse. It could be slush last year where Jesse plowed us like we owed him money. But, I've seen worse. And this is also after I took a jack handle to it, so mind you, it's over flare is a bit broken, nothing a couple zip ties can't fix. And mind you, I'm not really tripping. I mean, A, I'm really, as time goes on, I'm getting more into the mentality of that's just drifting, but B, we have the sedan, we're gonna start building that. And these overs can't fit on there because the fenders are shorter, so it's really no harm, no foul. I'll have my buddy Gary fix these and probably resell them at some point. So it's not the end of the world. Side skirt, same thing. Gonna have to get new side skirts with the aero kit for the sedan, so using the same brand. Love Click Tuning, their stuff rocks. So this one's just gonna get some stitches just to heal it back up. I don't even ask where my mirror cap went. Unknown. And then as for the turn signal, we have the turn signal, but all of the pickup points broke off of it, and you can see it go tumbling down the track. So I'll insert that clip right here. But the objective here today, mechanically the car is totally sound. Very thankful for that. We just did slush and Easter drift, and this weekend we have Motoculture Metro Mayhem before we take a break for the summer, because I'm getting too old to be ripping in this heat without a cool suit, and I want to have time to build a sedan. So I want to sell some ride-alongs this weekend because they're pushing that pretty hard, but the issue we have at hand is this door does not want to open. So you can see up here the glass is actually pulled away from the body a bit, which I didn't notice at first because the windows, I drive with them down. So it's pretty obvious. This whole bottom section here got pushed in. I am no body technician by any means, but I know how to use a hammer. So we're gonna try and figure something out. Fender has to come off though because the door points are here. I'd like to see if I can unbolt the door and relieve some tension enough to undo the handle. Because right after the boo-boo, I was able to get the door open, but I kind of had to slam it shut, and it wasn't too happy about that. It's heavily pinched right here, so I may just trim some of this metal out of the way. But obviously the majority of the impact here is right along this A-pillar door jamb piece here. So worst case scenario, what I'm thinking is pull this fender. If I can't pry something away, I'm thinking maybe unbolt the door, or maybe just weld a plate somewhere right here, and then borrow my dad's, come along and see if we can't strap this thing and pull it straighter a little bit. Because at the end of the day, if this was a comp car, slap some skirts on it, it is what it is. There's no passengers in it, but saving that for the sedan. So this one we kind of need to be able to fit some people in here, because that's part of the fun of it. So yeah, we're gonna try and figure that part out. She's taking the fenders off for me really quick since I got some work to do. And yeah, we'll take a peek what the damage looks like under here. Okay, so definitely a lot of prying around, and you know, tomfoolery, but pretty much got it ready to come on.
Into anything.
Yeah, so this is, okay, yeah, this is all loose already.
There's your crumpled fender.
It's not as bad as it looks though. For being all the impact zone, like the door area is definitely the problem. Well, the fender came off with only minor troubles, so let's take an assessment. She looks crumpled.
You can see where that hinge is pushed back. You can see the buckle.
Oh yeah, so see if we can. Yeah, so that's oh, okay, yeah, right there. So, well, I suppose that would explain why this thing isn't wanting to open. So really all we're going to try and do is relieve some tension. If we can get it open, cool, that's the goal. I'm thinking there's not really a good way to pull any of this damage, so I think, you know, without like a frame machine. So I'm going to probably just weld a plate with like a hook to it and just start yanking on stuff. I got ratchet straps. I can go borrow a come along. I'll probably grab the come along and bring it with me tomorrow morning, and we'll try and work on this more tomorrow when I have more free time, because I got to finish up this customer car first. But yeah, this is love it. So we're into day 2. Had to get some work done. I got this 240 finished up, so thankfully she has been working on pulling the car out pretty much all day. We borrowed the come along. Now I might just do a little bit more, especially kind of show you guys on video kind of the process of, you know, unfortunately what drift car is like. But you can kind of see, so before this morning the door would not open. There's still just enough tension on it, and this handle is now stretched. If you guys know E36s, the outside door handles suck, but you know, it still works now from the inside, so that's at least progress made. You can see it's hard to tell the difference, especially on this wide angle camera lens, but this is better. So what we've been doing, or what she's been doing, is we have this chain wrapped around this big old light pole, and she used a ratchet strap, and I went and got a couple D-rings, and we basically made a loop around the door jamb, and she's just kind of been, you know, putting a bunch of tension on it, heating up the metal, and then letting it sit, and then it would eventually relax. And rinse and repeat. She's been at this for a good majority of the day. So we'll go ahead and we will do a little bit more on that here just shortly. Got to move some stuff around the shop. As for the side skirt, you know, drift stitched up as usual. So just gonna trim up the zip ties a little bit. And right now we are trying to smack the fender straight. We already made some pretty good progress, and I realized I haven't been filming all day. So obviously fender's pretty mangled. You can see all the hammer marks from her using the hammer and dolly set. We're watching Formula Drift. But yeah, so I've been taking the mallet and I've been working on this whole section because this was all bowed in. Now that's obviously all hidden by the overflare, but I know it's also warping the rest of the panel and making it fit even worse back here. So I'm just going around. This was all bubbled out, and really all I've done is go ahead and I'm just kind of massaging the high spots and helping to stretch it back out, if you will. Don't really know what I'm doing, but I have a general understanding of what the metal needs to do. I just am learning how to actually make it do what I want it to do. So it doesn't need to be perfect. Again, it is a very clapped fender on a drift car, so not the end of the world. We're just trying to make it look better than it was. I'm not big on the excuse because it's a drift car, but in certain cases, there's really not really a point, unless you're doing a full refresh, which obviously we're not. We're doing the sedan for that. So in this case, because it is just a drift car, we're just gonna kind of put makeup on a pig, you know, keep it rolling. Alright, that actually worked out pretty well. So it's still pretty bent back here, but also these fenders or the over is a little weird. So I'm gonna put another rivet in there, and then we're going to stitch this guy up right here.
Should be better.
So we're gonna try tugging it just a little bit more, and yeah, probably wrap it up. The fender's looking pretty Fenderish now. You know, for a crumpled piece of metal, it looks okay. Okay, got the panels about as good as they're gonna get. Just giving this thing a bolt check really quick because the last two events were a little rough on it. So something I did notice during the last event is my wheel was getting a bit of a shimmy again, so if I have to guess, I have eaten yet another inner tie rod. Actually feels kind of decent. I've already done wheel bearings on this thing probably like a year and a half ago. Maybe even twice, I don't know. It's drifting, dude. It starts off cheap and then it gets expensive because everything snowballs. You want to do better, you want to go faster, you want to go more sideways, which all equates to more wear and tear. Okay, I lied. It wasn't the wheel bearing. My coilover locking collar came loose again because of vibration, so I just hammered it down. So I'm gonna check the tie rod pickup points here pretty shortly. I think from this last oil change, I had some stuff, you know, seeping down because this isn't like wet, but it's like misted. So, you know, no matter how good you take care of a BMW, they just never stay dry. That's my catch can dump, so that's of course atmospherically dumped. Everything else looking good. So I'm just trying to make sure everything else is happy. Yeah, this is all definitely got to be residual from my oil change. So thankfully nothing crazy. Let's see what else. I gotta check that. That's what always breaks. Yeah, my diff was definitely not happy at this last event because I need to make a breather setup for this. So on the sedan, I'm gonna cut all of this trunk stuff out because then I can service this diff way easier. Not that these ones are incredibly hard to service, but they're definitely inconvenient because of all the stuff that's kind of in the way. So in this case, I will have lots of space to make a breather too, but if you don't really know what that is, if you look at a lot of OEM style vents, like Nissans for example, they'll have just a little tiny barb at the top that vents. That's just to help when these things get hot. They'll kind of spit over, and in this case mine doesn't, so it doesn't really have a place to go except for dump the fluid out of the pores or something. I can only imagine, but yeah, Jeff built a vent for his, so I'm gonna follow suit and do that after the sedan's running, because this is getting old. It's not like it's puking a bunch of stuff out, but it's enough that everything just gets misted, and I just don't want to deal with the mess. Good thing I did bolt check that. I actually found my axle bolts, like the ones that hold the axle to the diff. Somehow I haven't bolt checked those in a while. In my defense, I'll admit I was lazy. One of them was actually backed like halfway out. Now that is a regular occurrence on these things when you drift them, but I always Loctite them. Well, the last time I checked them, I Loctited them and over torqued them by like 5 foot-pounds is like the fix, quote unquote. But a few of them were loose, so that's good. I just cleaned out the air filter with compressed air best I could. So yeah, that's about all we can do. I do need to give this thing a wash, so let's load it on the trailer and then let's just go head home and give this thing a good hose down and then just get ready for tomorrow. I am so pooped. Okay, got the car washed up. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna have to stop and get some details sprayed just because, you know, it's Arizona, it's summer, we got hard water, and it's a little dried up. But yeah, I guess let's just look at the repair area. It really, you know, I'm stuttering over my words. Very much so battle scars. I got to redo some of these stitches because she didn't know how to do them, so she kind of used them the wrong way. But yeah, anyway, other than that, yeah, no, it's looking pretty decent other than the missing mirror cap and then again the missing turn signal, but you know, it's not too bad. But yeah, I am freaking stoked that it's fixed. I can't wait to do the refresh. Let me set you guys down here. Yeah, I can't wait to do the refresh on the going into the sedan, because when I pull this motor out, like, that car is gonna look so good. All the metal work done. It's gonna have a painted bay most likely, and then when I pull this motor, I'm gonna clean everything up. Not that it's leaky or anything right now, but there's a lot of things that I think I can simplify and just do better. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I don't really have anything else for this video, guys. I do appreciate you sticking around if you did. A little bit on the shorter side, medium side, but you know, I just wanted to address that the car was, you know, schmacked, and that I lost the footage the last video. So tomorrow is Motoculture's Metro Mayhem, and it should be fun. You know, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of cool drivers there. It might be the last drift event for me for a few months because I need to get cranking on that thing, and then it's, you know, summer's coming up in like a month, so it's going to be brutal. But if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you need fab work or parts, as always, hit me up on Velocity Race Fab, Instagram or email at yahoo.com. And yeah, if you're going out to the events, hope to see you out there. Come say hello, do what you love, forget about the rest. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.